Basic Training Part 1. Only after we have been completely destroyed can we begin to find ourselves. The drill sergeants do it like this. They break us down, build us up, break us down again, and then build us back up. The first breakdown is the hardest part. It's the first 3 weeks, and they call it red phase. After a while, push-ups and red phase have the same meaning. Sometimes we do them in cadence. The drill sergeant yells 1, 2, 3. We yell 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. 1 is down, 2 is up, 3 is down, the count is up. This way, 1 count means 2 push-ups, 2 counts mean 4, 35 means 70. Other times, when the drill sergeants want to be extra mean, we do push-ups and half steps. Drill sergeants yell down, we yell attention to detail up, work as a team, and of course, there's always a longer pause after down than there is after up. The Army takes our clothes and gives us camouflage to hide who we are, who we were. All of us convicts in camouflage green jumpsuits. They take our designer shoes, they give us combat boots to be shined every night private. They take our sunglasses and give us patrol caps. They take our chewing gum and the television, our CD players, and the lunch mommy packed. An army of one, my ass, they yell. You are not one, you are no one. You are battle buddies. Every one of you relies on every other. They take it all. The drill sergeants strip us of every luxury, everything we've ever convinced ourselves to be a necessity. They take who we are and flatten it. Everything we think we know about it. They take it away so all we're left with is each other and the hair on our chinny chins. Then they give us a razor blade and tell us to shave. Sitting in the barbershop chair, we get our hair cut off, our heads like dogs at the vet. We watch in the mirror as our identity floats to the ground. We watch as the barber sweeps it up, puts it in the trash, right where it belongs. The hair of 100 other recruits, 100 other identities mixing and blending until they're all the same. We're all the same. The basic training barbershop smells like old sweat and mineral oil, a dark and vague smell like a black back alley full of hot metal. The mineral oil so the trimmers stay clean and efficient. The distilled stink of it mixing with skin and sweat. This smell, it's people losing their identities. It's boiling hot, bottled anger. It fills the barbershop with wafts through the silent line of camouflage privates at parade rest. Parade rest, a modified position of attention. Hands behind the back, clasped right over left. Head and eyes forward, mouth shut, feet shoulder width apart. Can't walk while you're at parade rest. When the line progresses, come to attention, snap the feet together, hands go to fists and drop to the sides. Step forward, then back to parade rest. The barbershop's efficiency can be seen from a mile, a line of privates on one side, 2 weak old fuds atop their round heads, a line of privates out to the other side, skinned and clean. After our haircuts, we form up by platoon, 50 privates in each platoon, 4 platoons in the company, standing in formation, waiting for the rest of the company is how we do everything. A formation consists of 4 ranks, horizontal lines, privates standing shoulder to shoulder. In our ranks, we dress. This means we are lined up perfectly with both the private to our right and the private to our front. This ensures that every private has a place and can be seen and accounted for at any given time. All a drill sergeant has to do is count the number of privates in the first rank and multiply by 4. The golden rule of the formation, never walk in front of one. A private leaves the barbershop double timing or running just like he's supposed to. He pulls his camouflage patrol cap over his bald head and double times towards his platoon. He doesn't remember the golden rule. I want to yell to tell him to think, but the second golden rule of formation is don't talk while standing in one. As fast as lightning, a drill sergeant is in his face. You just want to run around disrespecting formations all day, do you? No, drill sergeant, yells the kid, snapping to a parade rest. Now you're lying to me. No, drill sergeant. Well, which is it, Buttercup? Do you disrespect my formation, or did you just lie to me? Drill sergeant has such a knack for making simple situations complicated. You meant what? Now, I'm the liar? Mocks the drill sergeant. I disrespected your formation, drill sergeant. Oh, a little integrity, I see. That's mighty kind of you. Tell me, honest Abe, what are the other 6 Army values? These can be found in the Smart Book. Drill sergeant, the other 6 Army values are loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity. Yeah, we covered that one, Yes, drill sergeant. Respect. Said that. Drill sergeant. You what? The drill sergeant screams in his face. Well, Cupcake, while you're stammering around trying to figure out that the 7th Army value is personal courage, your battle buddy is over there dying from a bullet wound. Yes, drill sergeant. The kid looks like he wants to cry. No one is really dying from a bullet wound. The drill sergeant is proving a point. In combat, there's no time to think. You just act. Cannon cockers until I say stop. Anywhere else, the kids' punishment would have been called squat thrusts. In basic training, they're called cannon cockers. The kid stands at attention, drops his hands to the ground, and kicks his feet out behind him. This puts him in a push-up position. He pulls his feet back underneath himself and stands back at attention. One cannon cocker, he says. You forgot to say boom, sweetheart, roars the drill sergeant. Do it right, or they all do it. He points to us. With his fingers, he's saying, if one soldier makes a mistake in combat, they all suffer. Kid drops down, throws back his feet, and then stands back. Boom, he says. Damn it, Private, you ride the short bus? Every time you kick your little feet, you say boom. That's the cannon cocker. When you stand up, you say the count. Think you can handle that, numbnuts? Yes, drill sergeant. Drops to his hands, feet shoot back like the recoil of the M16's buffer spring. Boom, he says. 100 recruits watch him. Hearing his Mississippi accent echoing, stand up. One cannon cocker, back down, his feet shoot out twice. Boom, boom, back up. 2 cannon cockers, boom, boom, boom. 3 cannon cockers. This has gone for way too long. His boom's the only sound. At the 7th cannon cocker, someone in the formation can no longer take the echoing Mississippian's accent of the kid. Boom, boom, boom. You want to laugh at him? You little puke, yells another drill sergeant. You can join him. Now there are 2, and they're both nervous and hysterical. They can't synchronize. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Which gets them yelled at some more. The rest of the shaved recruits form up, and we thank God that the cannon cocker's charade is over. We are all seconds away from doing them. We stand there, a sea of bald boys learning to become soldiers, one cannon cocker at a time. Many people can't do it. Most of the privates who wash out or fail to complete basic training do so during red phase, and the Army doesn't care. It doesn't want the washouts. The Army doesn't believe in pity because its enemies don't believe in pity. Only after we have been completely destroyed can we begin to find ourselves. Red phase is about reflection. It's about looking around and realizing how much all this means. This ground, this place we call a home, the space and time given to us for free, these people we call countrymen. And the way it feels to lose it all, to lose our free will. The drill sergeant tells us when to train, when to push, and when to pull, when to laugh, never, and when to cry, don't even think about it. They tell us how to walk and how to talk, how to sit and how to eat, and when to shower and when to shit. When we have something to say, we stand at the position of attention, request permission to speak, and hope the drill sergeant doesn't rip our bloody head off for interrupting his busy day. Red phase is about duty, the opposite of freedom, and standing there being screamed at for not tucking in the corners of my bed sheets properly. I have an epiphany. The drill sergeant is 2 seconds away from tossing my whole mattress on the floor. He's 5 seconds from tossing my battle buddy's mattress on the floor. If we don't pick them up and remake our bunks in time, the whole room, 6 other privates' mattresses will be tossed, but it's okay. I get it. If you sacrifice your freedom, you'll learn what freedom means. And once you know what freedom means, you'll know why it's worth fighting for. Sacrifice, God-forsaken, selfless, nothing matters less than my well-being, sacrifice. I serve the country is tattooed right across my forehead. I am a part of the all-warrior circus. We are snarling clowns with spiked teeth and bleeding gums. We smell like rotten war paint. We smell like old camping gear. That's the smell of the Army. Mostly it's the TA-50, our field issue, the web gear that's wrapped around my chest like a python. Its ammo pouches are full of the Army smell. The Kevlar helmet and the dents at the top of my head smells like it's leaking Army-scented oil. The rucksack poncho and the worn-out recycled wet weather gear that doesn't work, that's TA-50, all of it reeking of the Army. That smell was stuffed into my duffel bag, inside my extra uniforms, my socks, and my brown underwear. Yes, the Army even tells recruits what kind of underwear they'll wear in basic training. All of us, we smell like the Army now, too. That smell is in the towels we use to dry off. It's in the sheets we sleep in. It's in our washcloths and wall lockers and brown t-shirts. It has been said that after a certain amount of time, one can get used to any smell. That's either not true or I need more time. The Army smells distinct, something I'll smell 1,000 years from now in my 100th next life, and I'll turn and say, that's a smell from a previous life, AD 2003. The Army smell is indestructible. It cannot be washed off or worn out. It cannot be manipulated or covered up with cologne or deodorant. It is pungent, but hardly offensive. It's earthy, the Army smell, like dust on a shelf. It's ancient fabric dipped in OD, olive drab, green dye, and handed out to new recruits. Sometimes you can rub at the new dye, and it lightens. It fades away little by little. Then, if you look hard enough, the old dye peeks through. Behind the ugly green-brown dye, the fabric is blue. Some of the spaces between the splintering olive color, the parts that were given up, sacrificed, these parts are white. In some spots, the old fabric is stained and bloody red. Lying in my bunk, writing a letter to my parents, the red flashlight making my paper pink, I realize that when I am sent to the sandbox like all the drill sergeants say I will be, if I die, the flag they give my parents, the stars and stripes, is going to smell like the army. Dipped in new dye, sure. Crisp and clean and folded in a compact triangle, absolutely. But it'll still smell like the olive green and dirty brown of everything that surrounds me here in basic training. It will smell like these sheets. And whenever my parents remember their son, they'll have to smell that old vinyl, dust on a shelf smell I now live in. I try not to think about it. I finish my letter and lay my head on my pillow, thinking of tomorrow, Sunday. Sunday is our day off, but that doesn't mean what you probably think. We don't get to talk to our families, run down to the PX Post Exchange to buy a soda or take a leisurely walk around Post. Our heads are still shaved, the drill sergeants still yell, we still crawl out of our racks at 4:30 a.m., still wear army greens, and still get 3 minutes to hammer chow. These differences is that there is no training. During the week, we practice marching, we do teamwork building, exercise, and confidence courses. The obstacle courses for each basic training is famous. We do hand-to-hand combat and puggle stick fighting. We sit through classes on the Army values, first aid, and financial skills. We walk through a gas chamber full of CS gas, that tear gas the police use at riots. All this stuff is training, and all of it comes to a halt on Sunday. Sunday is today, the only day we can look forward to each week. In drill sergeant language, our only task on Sunday is to conduct barracks maintenance. This means clean. Using pine oil almost exclusively, we scrub every inch of our section of the barracks. On our hand and knee, we buff the floor, scour the sinks, polish the toilets, scrub the showers, and wipe the counters. Regular shaving cream gets a shoe scuff off a tile floor like no one's business. And the smell, the virtuous smell of Sunday, tangy and sour like pine pitch fermented in peroxide, wrapped in sen. Are sins really forgiven on Sunday morning, or are they just washed up and sanitized, covered up with a piney solution? The mixture of pine oil and sen, it smells like atheism. After one brave soul announces to the drill sergeant that we are done cleaning, he comes upstairs with a white glove and runs his finger along the windowsills, wall lockers, radiators, shower walls, and everywhere else. If he sees a speck of dust, it's back to cleaning. During the first Sunday of red phase, we're thinking if we clean quickly, we'll have time to make a phone call or more leisure time. We soon find out how naive we are. Even if the drill sergeant doesn't find dust, he finds dust. And since we bothered him before the job was done, we're irrevocably stupid and therefore deserving of some good old-fashioned PT physical training. We quickly learn to use the entire Sunday to clean. But cleaning is the facade. Sundays are about escape. We can talk to one another all day on Sunday. We are finally allowed to find out about one another. I would not usually be interested in what 50 people whom I met only weeks ago would have to share with me, but here it seems important. For some reason, basic training makes me appreciate strangers, and Sundays are about getting away. Sundays give us an excuse to leave the pine-scented barracks, if only for an hour. There are Protestant and Catholic services. There are Buddhist and Hindu services. There are Jewish and Muslim and Southern gossip services. As the bus rolls up for the first service of the day, the whole company forms up outside the barracks. This one's for you, Methodist, yells the drill sergeant. Only a few people step out of formation and board the bus. There better be more of the Protestant service, says the drill sergeant. I don't want to look at you nasty privates all day. And then there's the atheist, born and raised in New York City. What if you don't believe in God, drill sergeant? She asked from the back of the formation. Now, there are a couple things that need to be understood here. First of all, just because red phase is almost over and white phase starts tomorrow doesn't mean we're out of basic training. You can't just yell out in the middle of formation. I'm not terribly religious myself, spiritual I'd say, but regardless, we're standing in the heart of the Bible Belt, sister. The majority of the military comes from the South, and if you think they don't love teaching valuable lessons to every blasphemous northern hippie they come across, you got another thing coming. What did you say? He says, walking over to her spot in formation. I said, What if you don't believe in God, drill sergeant, she says. We all wait to hear the drill sergeant yell, drop, meaning push-ups, or front leaning, rest position, meaning push-ups, or, of course, cannon cockers, but he says nothing. He pauses a long time. There's no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole, he tells her. I picture World War II and a Vietnam flick, soldiers sitting in foxholes praying with rosaries. This is how I make sense of what the drill sergeant told the atheist. When you're in the shit and all you have are a rifle and your own ass, I think you'll turn to God. Sometimes God isn't listening. Pray all you want, and the only outcome you'll get is a lead slug through the forehead. But sometimes, just sometimes, God is listening, and God hates the bad guy, right? The reinforcements show up, and the Krauts and the Gooks are wiped out. The platoon survives against the miraculous odds, and the American flag waves in the foreground. Roll credits. I think soldiers turn to God during war.